Hi everybody, this is Dr. Miller again, and this is a supplemental video to the Microsoft Word tutorials to go over an additional few things you will find in both our exam material and in life as a writer or editor. I have put a list of them up at the top here: password protection, track changes, comments, and footnotes or endnotes. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through how to do them, and we will use the example of just a random paragraph that I wrote. So, obviously it's not really free to republish or share, but certainly it's fine for our purposes here. So if you want to protect your document with a password, there are various reasons to do that. For example, if your family, needs to co-sign on a loan or something like that, and there's a document to sign, if there isn't one already, you can add a password to protect it. If you are sending let's say resumes back and forth for a position you're hiring for, you may want to add that layer of protection so that someone's personal information, such as their address and phone number that's on their resume, wouldn't be exposed in a wider public way. So the way you do password protection is you go to Review. And so there's a set of menu buttons up top: File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Tools, Table, Window, Help, and a Word one. It might look a little different on a PC. I'm on a Mac. And then in the actual MS Word main toolbar, you have Home, Insert, Draw, Design, Layout, References, Mailings, Review, View, etc. So you go to Review right here, and you see how there's all these different things you can do: proofing, reading aloud, you can listen to your paper, check accessibility, translate, and then you can protect. So you go here, you do protect document, set a password to open this document. My cat's name is Midnight, so I will set it to that. There's a password to modify the document. I'm not going to do that, but just to open it. And then you can explain what kinds of protection you want to give the document. So I click OK. All right, it is now protected with the name of my cat, Midnight. That is password protection. So track changes. This is great if you are working on a document with a group of people and you're not 100% sure that you're going to make a particular change. You're like suggesting edits to something, for example. This is helpful if you are working on a grant proposal and you think the wording would work well, and you want to try it out and ask people what it looks like. Some people use the comments feature for that, but the nice thing about track changes is that you can accept the changes and go with your suggestion. So it makes it easier to edit the document in the long run. So let's do that. So you go to Tools, which is in the top bar, and then you scroll down, and there's a place that says Track Changes. And so there are a couple of things that you can do there. You can do highlight changes, or you can do compare documents. Compare documents is really helpful if you've made a lot of changes to something and you want to show someone that. Let's say you have a job and you're supposed to revise the annual report from last year. When you write the new report, you can do a compare documents between that and the previous year, and you will probably find very little overlap. I did that, for example, when I went from my PhD thesis to the book I published from that thesis. There was almost none of it that was the same. It was almost 100% reworked, revised. That doesn't mean I did entirely new work from scratch, but every sentence needed help, I think. All right, so you go to track changes and you can highlight changes. So you'll see here we have track changes while editing, track moves while tracking changes, highlight changes on screen, and then highlight changes in printed document. And you can change what these are. You go to options. This is what you'd want to do. Like, do you want it to look like red if you're changing? Do you want it to look green when you move it around? You can make your own choice of what you want to do. So I'm doing this way. I'm not going to track moves while tracking changes, but I'm tracking them while they edit. So for example, if I want to say the placement of the bust in this painting, I can then roll over here and see that, at 10:43 on Sunday night, this is the change that I had suggested. And then when I go through and evaluate those changes, I can click accept, accept, accept. And then if I wanted, we'll do a comment next. I've got an idea. So, children's performances, perhaps. The Waning Empire of Spain. Maybe I want to call the adults, instead of fashionable, chic. And it says, here's the word I deleted a few seconds ago. And instead of this where, kind of suggested something, so I could write from which if I want. And it says there, deleted where. Okay. So that's an example of how you can track your changes. And, again, if I'm sending this to an editor, I can show them the changes I made. Now it's time for comments. So the very top menu has a button that says insert, or a heading that says insert. And you scroll down to comment. And so, oh wait, it's got me actually commenting there. We will click Command Z as a way to undo it. However, what if I want something other than those? So we will go to Insert, Comment, and I will say, should use a stronger word here. Questions are always a much better way to give feedback and to get feedback than this is terrible, you must change it. Saying, why don't we do it this way? Makes it sound friendlier, and it should be friendly. Writing should feel friendlier than it often does for people. So I will write tomb at Westminster Abbey to highlight and insert another comment. Add image of tomb, ? So you'll see there, it will highlight that in sort of a pale red, and then, it will guide you over through that little line to the margin where your comment goes. All right, so here we go. We are now going to look at footnotes and endnotes. So you go back to Insert, and then you scroll down, and then you see footnote ... The ... helps us decide whether to use footnotes or endnotes. So in general, the footnote is going to be at the bottom of the page. It says there's an option for below text, but I don't think anyone really uses that. So just do footnote bottom of the page. And then endnotes, either end of section or end of documents. If your endnotes are going to the end of section, that means you are probably working with a series of essays or chapters in one Word document, and then you are going to separate those out by section, and then you'll have endnotes following each one. If you read academic books, or at least use academic books for research, often you will find this. You read an essay, and then at the end of the chapter, there are all the little endnotes. Footnotes are at the bottom of each page. So as you're reading a footnote, if you don't understand something, or you want to learn more about it, or if you just want to see where they got their information, you would find that at the bottom of the page. So yeah, endnotes are pretty easy to remember. They go all the way at the end. So that you can format the numbers, you can do all kinds of things. You can have weird symbols, you know, make it exciting if you want. But I am going to just insert a footnote right here. And that footnote is for these William Hogarth engravings for the Harlot's Progress, the Rake's Progress, and before and after. See copies of these. See the originals of these in the Tate Britain for better context. Or you could also say, you know, marriage a la mode, the National Gallery, Britain, whatever year it was, 1730 or something, London it would be. Anyway, that's just me coming up with a random citation for art on the fly, so don't necessarily get excited about that is correct. But what's correct is how we did the footnote. So that's how you do a footnote. Make sure you save regularly. And that's pretty much it. I hope that helped you. We learned password protection, track changes, comments, and inserting footnotes and endnotes. Thank you.